So we are starting with a very important topic, oxidation and reduction reactions. So we have studied all the types of reaction till now. Uh, Combination reaction, decomposition reaction, displacement reaction, double displacement or double decomposition reaction, and this is the final type of reaction, oxidation reduction reaction. You must be wondering why I made a separate video for this particular reaction, because this is the most important type of reaction. Also, it is little bit confusing. Many students, they don't understand the concept behind oxidation and reduction reaction. Today we are going to study this particular type of reaction in detail, in depth, and I hope all your doubts will get cleared, all your concepts will be completely cleared. Right, let's begin. First, let us understand the meaning of the words, some words which are involved here. The first word is oxidation. So, oxidation means addition of oxygen. That is the first meaning of oxidation. The second meaning of oxidation is removal of hydrogen. So, addition of oxygen into any element or compound uh, can be termed as oxidation. Addition of oxygen. Let's take an example. Cu plus O2 gives CuO. Of course, it will be 2Cu plus O2 gives 2Cu, balancing it. What happened in this particular example, in this reaction? What can you see? In this particular reaction, oxygen was added to copper. Oxygen and copper were added together, or oxygen was added to copper. And what was the product? Copper oxide. So we can say that copper is oxidized. Copper is oxidized. Why is copper oxidized? Because oxygen was added to it. So addition of oxygen is oxidation. Removal of hydrogen. Let's take an example. Removal of hydrogen. H2S plus O2, hydrogen sulfide gas plus oxygen, gives H2O plus S. Now this is not a balanced equation. If you want to balance it, you have to add 2 over here. So oxygen will get balanced, and further to balance it, you have to 2 balance hydrogen, you have to add 2 in front of H2S, and because sulfur also becomes 2, you have to add 2 over here. Now it is balanced. But what is happening? We are studying oxidation reaction, right? So what is happening? Is hydrogen getting removed from somewhere? Yes, hydrogen is getting removed from hydrogen sulfide and getting added with oxygen and becoming water. And sulfur is now without hydrogen. Hydrogen is being removed from sulfur, from hydrogen sulfide, and sulfur is getting oxidized, right? So we can write that H2S is oxidized. Not sulfur is oxidized, H2S is oxidized. H2S is oxidized and it becomes sulfur. It becomes sulfur. Hydrogen sulfide gets oxidized and becomes sulfur. Right? So oxidation is addition of oxygen, and it is also removal of hydrogen. These both the things are oxidation. Okay. Next thing, is reduction. Reduction. What is reduction? Reduction is addition of hydrogen. Addition of hydrogen. Okay, let's take an example. CuO plus H2 gives H2O plus Cu. Copper oxide, which is a black powder, if you pass hydrogen over copper oxide, hydrogen takes away the oxygen, right? And copper is getting removed. Copper is separated from oxygen. We can say like that. Or you can say that uh, hydrogen is added to oxygen. Hydrogen is added to oxygen. Maybe we can take a more suitable example where hydrogen seems to be added somewhere. This is a suitable example. Mm, let's take some more suitable example. Just a moment. Okay, so I'll take one more example. Let me erase this. H2 plus S gives H2S. This is more suitable example. What is happening? Hydrogen is added to sulfur and it gives hydrogen sulfide. So we can say that sulfur is reduced. Sulfur is reduced. Why? Hydrogen is added to it, right? So this is an example of addition of hydrogen, which is reduction. Second is removal of oxygen. Removal of oxygen is also reduction. Just opposite of oxidation. Oxygen was removal of hydrogen. Here you are removing oxygen. So the equation the one which I took before, CuO plus H2 gives Cu plus H2O. See, oxygen is removed from copper oxide and what is left? Copper. Right? So what is reduced? So we can say that copper oxide is reduced and it becomes copper. Here sulfur is reduced because hydrogen is added to it and it becomes hydrogen sulfide. Right? So the definition of oxidation and reduction, which is in your syllabus, is this. Oxidation is a process which is defined as the addition of oxygen or removal of hydrogen. Reduction is the process which is defined as addition of hydrogen or removal of oxygen. Now, what you have to learn is, by looking at an equation, you should know what is happening. Oxidation is happening, reduction is happening, or both are happening. Yes, you are right. You heard me right. Both are happening. Both oxidation and reduction occur together. So oxidation and reduction does not occur separately. They both occur together always. So that's why oxidation and reduction reactions are also known as redox reactions, because they both occur simultaneously in one equation. So there is one activity. Copper is taken in a container or a china dish and it is heated from below, and copper mixes with the or reacts with the oxygen present in atmosphere, and slowly you will see that reddish brown color of copper, this copper powder basically, uh, it changes into black color. Why does it change into black color? Because copper mixed or reacted or combined with oxygen. Oxidation of copper happened and we got copper oxide, which is black in color. Always remember, copper oxide is black in color, copper is reddish brown in color. So this is a classic example of oxidation of copper because oxygen was added to copper. See another example. we just took this example. Copper oxide plus hydrogen on heating gives copper plus water. What happens here? Copper oxide was reduced to copper. Why does it reduce? Who reduces it? Who reduces copper oxide? Hydrogen, because hydrogen takes away the oxygen of copper oxide and converts it into copper, right? And hydrogen itself becomes water, takes away the oxygen for itself, and hydrogen gets converted into H2O, water. Just see here, this is a very significant reaction over here. Copper oxide gets converted into copper, right? What about hydrogen? Hydrogen gets converted into water. So the conversion of copper oxide to copper is known as reduction. But the conversion of hydrogen into water is known as oxidation. So when in this reaction, both are happening simultaneously. That's why it is a redox reaction. Copper oxide to copper is reduction, hydrogen to water is oxidation. Right? Some more examples for you. I'll just show you over here. Great. So, as you can see, sodium plus oxygen gives sodium oxide. What kind of reaction is this? Oxidation. Magnesium plus oxygen gives magnesium oxide. What kind of reaction is this? Oxidation. Just look here. Hydrogen sulfide plus oxygen gives water plus sulfur. What happened to hydrogen sulfide? It got converted into sulfur. So hydrogen was removed from it. So what is this? Oxidation. Now you would say, sir, hydrogen was added to oxygen. So it is reduction. It is reduction, but it is also oxidation. And every oxidation reaction is a reduction reaction as well. Both happen simultaneously. I have already told you that. So conversion of hydrogen sulfide to sulfur is an example of removal of hydrogen, which is oxidation, right? But addition of hydrogen to oxygen to get water is the example of reduction. So that is also true. Okay. One more thing, if you see, 4HCl plus MnO2 gives MnCl2 plus 2H2O plus Cl2. What happened to Cl? Chlorine was with hydrogen and hydrogen was removed from chlorine, right? So this is the removal of hydrogen, that means it is oxidation. Who oxidizes HCl? MnO2. Why? Because MnO2 is responsible for taking away the hydrogen from HCl and converting it into chlorine. So now we will also discuss, after discussing some more examples of reduction, we will also discuss the substances which are responsible for this oxidation and reduction. Okay, see this reaction. Hydrogen plus sulfur gives hydrogen sulfide. We have already seen this reaction. What is this, oxidation or reduction? This is the reduction. Why it is reduction? Because hydrogen is added to sulfur. Chlorine plus hydrogen sulfide gives hydrogen chloride plus sulfur. What happens over here? Hydrogen sulfide gets converted into sulfur. Chlorine gets converted into hydrogen chloride. Right? So two things are happening. Hydrogen is added to chlorine, that's why it is addition of hydrogen, and that's why it is reduction. But hydrogen sulfide also gets converted into sulfur. So hydrogen is removed from hydrogen sulfide and it gets converted into sulfur. That's why it is also oxidation. Every oxidation reaction is a reduction reaction also. Every reduction reaction is an oxidation reaction also. It's a redox reaction. Next one. Zinc oxide plus carbon gives zinc plus carbon dioxide. Oxygen is removed from zinc. That's why it is reduction. But oxygen is added to carbon. That's why it is oxidation also. You should exactly know where is oxidation happening, where is reduction happening. Copper oxide plus hydrogen, we have already seen this thing. Copper oxide plus hydrogen gives copper plus water. Oxygen gets removed from copper oxide, it gets converted into copper. So copper oxide is reduced, but oxygen gets added to hydrogen. So we can say hydrogen is oxidized. Okay, so these were the examples of oxidation and reduction reactions. We have studied them in detail. Now let's look at two more new terms, oxidizing and reducing agents. So let's understand them. Let's understand oxidizing and reducing agents. What is oxidizing agent? Number one, it is a substance which, number one, adds or donates oxygen. It is a substance which adds or donates oxygen. Or number two, or it can do one of the two things. It can't do both the things. So oxidizing agent either adds or donates oxygen, or it removes hydrogen. So the substance which adds oxygen or removes hydrogen is the oxidizing agent. We will see number of examples before your concept is clear. And every example will dissect in such a manner. I'll give you proper questions of understanding every example. So don't worry about it. In beginning, you don't memorize these terms, but with practice, these terms will be completely imprinted in your minds. Next is reducing agent. What is a reducing agent? It is a substance which, number one, adds hydrogen, or number two, removes, I'm sorry for that, removes oxygen. Just opposite of oxidizing agent. They are both opposite of each other. Reducing agent adds hydrogen or removes oxygen. Oxidizing agent adds oxygen or removes hydrogen. Right? Now I think you are ready to see an example, a proper example where we can explain this thing. Okay, the example which we are going to study is the same. Cu plus H2 gives Cu plus H2O. CuO plus H2, yes. CuO plus H2 gives Cu plus H2O. My first question to you, and remember, note down these questions, pause the video, get their answer, start the video, check the answer with me, match your answer with me, and then your concept will get clear. So the first question I want to ask you, or you should ask yourself, is who is getting oxidized? Okay, I'm not going to answer all these right now. I'm just asking you the questions. Who is getting oxidized? Next question. I think I should ask you in the form of fill in the blanks. Why in the form of question? That's very interesting. I think. Let's do that again. I'm sorry for that. Dash is getting oxidized into dash. That means a substance which is getting oxidized and becoming another substance. So which are these two substances? Who is getting oxidized and becoming what? Right? Dash is giving oxygen to dash. Right? Who is giving oxygen to whom? Therefore, dash is oxidizing agent. Dash is oxidizing agent. Right? Three questions based on oxidation and oxidizing agent. Fourth question. Dash is getting reduced into dash. Who is getting reduced into what? Number 5. Dash is uh, mm, reduced. Okay. Removing oxygen from dash. Dash is removing oxygen from dash. And number 6. Therefore, dash is reducing agent. Let's solve these together and get our concept absolutely clear. Dash is getting oxidized into dash. I think hydrogen is getting oxidized into water. Right? Hydrogen is becoming water. So this is oxidation. Adding of oxygen. Right? Okay. Dash is giving oxygen to dash. Who is giving oxygen to whom? Now see, here, who has the oxygen? Copper oxide. So who can give oxygen? Copper oxide. So copper oxide is giving oxygen to hydrogen, and then the hydrogen becomes water. So copper oxide is responsible for giving oxygen. Who is giving oxygen? Copper oxide. So therefore dash is oxidizing agent. What is oxidizing agent? Remember the definition. The definition of oxidizing agent is the substance which provides, which donates, or which adds oxygen is oxidizing agent. Here, who is adding oxygen into hydrogen? Copper oxide. So who is the oxidizing agent? Copper oxide. Right? So very important conclusion we have drawn here, that okay, we'll draw the conclusion just after 3 more fill in the blanks. Okay, because I don't want to just you know take out the suspense right now. Let's do the fourth one. Dash is getting reduced into dash. Who is getting reduced here? What is reduction? Removal of oxygen or addition of hydrogen? Both are. But here we are talking about removal of oxygen primary, right? So copper oxide is getting reduced into copper because copper oxide is losing its oxygen, right? Oxygen is getting removed from copper oxide, that's why it is getting reduced into copper. Who is removing oxygen from whom? Now who is responsible for removing oxygen from copper oxide? Hydrogen. So hydrogen is removing oxygen from copper oxide. So who is the reducing agent? Reducing agent is a substance which removes oxygen or which adds hydrogen. Here nobody is adding hydrogen. Hydrogen is a alone element, right? So who is removing oxygen? Hydrogen. So hydrogen is the reducing agent. right? Now look at fill in the blanks 2 and 3 and 5 and 6. Do you see a pattern over here? Copper oxide is getting reduced, right? And copper oxide is oxidizing agent. So substance which get reduced is also an oxidizing agent, or all oxidizing agent are they get reduced themselves, right? All oxidizing agent get reduced themselves. Substance which get reduced is also an oxidizing agent. Next is substance which get oxidized. Who is getting oxidized? Who is getting oxidized? Hydrogen is getting oxidized, right? So hydrogen is becoming water. So substance which get oxidized is also an, or a, not an, it is also a reducing agent. So this is how we dissect a single equation into oxidizing and reducing, oxidation, reduction, oxidizing agent, reducing agent, and all the questions which could be asked. uh, we apply it on one single equation and we simplify it. But I'm sure more such examples are required. So we'll not stop here. Let's get some more idea. Let's take one more example. If from here, maybe. Mm, yes. Okay, let's take some simple examples. Let me take an example of Cl2 plus H2S gives 2HCl plus S. Cl2 plus H2S gives 2HCl plus S. See, Cl2 becomes 2HCl, so it is reduced, and H2S becomes S, so it is oxidized. Can you tell me why is this reduction? Why is this reduction? Because hydrogen is added to chlorine, that's why it is reduction. Why is H2S oxidized to sulfur? Why is this oxidation? Because hydrogen is removed from one substance. That's why it is oxidation. So, basic questions I'm going to ask. Number one, who is getting oxidized? Who is getting oxidized? What is the answer? Who is getting oxidized? H2S. Next question. H2S is getting oxidized to what? H2S is getting oxidized to what? What is H2S getting oxidized into? H2S is getting oxidized into sulfur. Third question. Third question is who is getting reduced? Who is getting reduced? Can you tell me who is getting reduced? Chlorine. Absolutely. Who is, I'm sorry, wrong question. The question should be chlorine is getting reduced to what? Chlorine becomes what after getting reduced? HCl. Right? Next question, fifth question. Who is oxidizing H2S? Who is removing hydrogen from H2S? Tell me. Who is oxidizing H2S? Think carefully. See, chlorine is the one which removes hydrogen from H2S and converts it into sulfur. So chlorine takes away the hydrogen from H2S and makes it sulfur. And itself it becomes 2HCl. So who is oxidizing H2S? Cl2. This is the answer. Cl2. Right? So who is the oxidizing agent? Who is the oxidizing agent? Chlorine. Chlorine is the oxidizing agent because it is removing hydrogen. Now see, I told you oxidizing agent is a substance which itself gets reduced. Oxidizing agent is chlorine, and who is getting reduced? Chlorine. This is how you can check whether you are correct or not. Okay, one more question on this. Sorry, two more questions on this. Yeah. Let me write over here. Seventh question. Who is reducing chlorine? Who is reducing chlorine? And eighth question is, who is reducing agent? Same questions actually. Who is reducing chlorine? Who is giving away its hydrogen to chlorine? Who is adding hydrogen to chlorine? Tell me, who is getting hydrogen to chlorine? H2S. So who is the reducing agent? H2S. And the reducing agent itself gets oxidized. Who got oxidized? H2S. Right? So it matches. So these 8 questions, if you can ask to any equation and get the answers, your concept of oxidation and reduction will get absolutely clear. If you once more want me to give you a clear indication about what is oxidation and what is reduction, I will tell you only one thing. Oxidation and reduction reactions are uh, known as redox reaction because they occur simultaneously, and this is how I can define them. Oxidation is addition of oxygen or removal of hydrogen. Reduction reactions are addition of hydrogen or removal of oxygen, right? So it's possible we've seen many of the examples where oxygen is not present, only hydrogen is present. But still oxidation and reduction is happening, right? Because removal of hydrogen is also oxidation. Addition of hydrogen is reduction. So both are happening in context of hydrogen. But in the example of CuO plus H2, that is this particular example, oxygen is also there, hydrogen is also there. So definitely it is oxidation and reduction, redox reaction, right? Both are present. But even if one of the element is not present, hydrogen or oxygen, then also we can describe them as oxidation or reduction reactions. So this was a very important topic. Now that's the topic which we have just studied, that is oxidation and reduction, is an old, or you can say conventional concept of oxidation and reduction. One new thing I want to teach you, only not in detail, but only just to get you an idea of a modern concept of oxidation and reduction, which is also known as electronic concept. Okay, just don't remember anything from this because this is not part of your CBSE syllabus. It is part of ICSE syllabus. So ICSE students, if they are watching this video, they will have this idea. Okay, so according to the electronic concept of oxidation and reduction, uh, you have to consider a few equations here. Fe plus S gives you FeS. There is no hydrogen, no oxygen. Remember this. Cu plus I2 gives CuI2. Ferrous or iron plus sulfur gives ferrous sulfide. Copper plus iodine gives copper iodide. Now there is no oxygen or hydrogen here, but still they are known as oxidation reduction reaction. Why are they known as oxidation reduction reaction? Because there is gain and loss of electron in these kind of reactions. According to electronic concept, if there is a loss of electron, then there is oxidation. Oxidation is a process which involves loss of electron. So conversion of a metallic ion into positively charged ion is always oxidation. Na gets converted into Na plus electron. So what happened? From one atom of sodium, electron got separated and it got converted into a positive sodium ion. That is oxidation. That is very well oxidation. That's a new definition of oxidation according to the electronic concept. Fe2 plus, which was already an ion, it lost one more electron, it got converted into Fe3 plus. It happens with Fe, that is ion. And this is also oxidation. What is reduction? Absolutely opposite of what we have learned till now. In reduction, what is happening is electron is getting added. So chlorine plus electron gives Cl minus. When electron gets gained, electron gets added to one atom and it gets converted into negatively charged atom. This process is known as reduction. Sulfur plus 2 electron gives S2 minus. It is reduction. Fe3 plus electron gives Fe2 plus. There were deficiency of 3 electrons. There was a 3 positive charge. Now there is just 2 positive charge because one electron got added. This is also reduction. So whenever electron gets added or whenever there is gain of electron, it is reduction. Whenever there is loss of electron, it is uh, oxidation. So what is oxidizing agent then? Oxidizing agent is a substance which gains electron, right? So whichever substance gets reduced is the oxidizing agent, and whichever substance gets oxidized is the reducing agent. The substance which loses electron is the reducing agent. Now see, they have explained this very well with the help of one example. Let's take this example. Okay. Cu plus I2 gives CuI. Now what is happening to copper in this process? Copper gets converted into Cu2 plus and 2I. 2E, 2 electrons are lost from copper and it gets converted into Cu2 plus. So copper is losing electron. What is happening with copper? Copper is getting oxidized. On the other hand, iodine accepts 2 electrons and gets converted into 2I minus, right? So iodine gets reduced. If you add both the equation, you get Cu plus I2 plus 2 electron gives Cu I2 plus 2 electron. On both the side, if you cut 2 electrons, if you just simply cut these 2 electrons, you get balanced chemical equation. Cu plus I2 gives Cu I2. Right? So tell me now, the questions to be asked over here is who lost electron? Who lost electron? Copper. So who got oxidized? Who got oxidized? Copper. The substance which loses electron is the substance which gets oxidized. Who gained electron? Who gained electron? Iodine. So who got reduced? Who got reduced? Iodine. Iodine is I2. Iodine got reduced. Right? Again, who is the oxidizing agent? The substance which gets reduced is the oxidizing agent. Who is the oxidizing agent? Iodine. Because it took away electron from copper. That's why it's the oxidizing agent. So oxidizing agent is iodine. And who is reducing agent? Reducing agent is a substance which donates electron, which gives away electron, who loses electron. Who got oxidized? Copper. So copper is a reducing agent. Very similar to hydrogen and oxygen concept, but only thing here the language has changed into the gain or loss of electrons. So this is, again I'm telling you, this is not in the syllabus of CBSE schools, but very important to know. Sooner or later you are going to rely and learn on this modern concept of oxidation and reduction. Okay, so this is very important. Maybe not for now, but very, very important. So keep it in mind. Okay, effects of oxidation and reduction in everyday life. This is the last part. Let's finish it. The chapter will be over. Oxidation and reduction reactions also have damaging effects on metals and our food. There are two common effects of oxidation reactions which we observe in our daily life. These are corrosion of metals and rancidity of food. You know what is corrosion? Corrosion. Rusting is not corrosion. I'm sorry. Corrosion is not rusting. Rusting is a type of corrosion. There are many types of corrosion because rusting takes place only in iron. So iron corrodes and it forms a special substance which is brown in color called rust. And rancidity of food, when the fried food is left open for a longer time, its taste and its smell changes. That is known as rancidity. So the food is actually it deteriorates. So that is rancidity, and these both things happen due to oxidation. See, corrosion, they have given some examples. When iron is exposed to moisture for a long time, its surfaces acquire a brown flaky substance called rust. The surface of copper acquires a green coating of basic copper carbonate in moist air. Have you seen Statue of Liberty's photo? Or maybe some people have seen an actual Statue of Liberty. Statue of Liberty is a very huge statue in New York, and the color of that statue has become greenish. It is not green, it is made up of a alloy of copper, but it has become green because copper has corroded because of a basic copper carbonate layer which is formed on it. Right? So that's why it has become green. Silver tarnishes and have black coating. If you see silver jewelry or coins, they over a period of time they become black because of hydrogen sulfide, right? So that gas actually reacts with silver surfaces and tarnishes it. Again, on polishing, it becomes uh, just like new, but tarnishing is a type of corrosion which is observed in silver. Lead or stainless steel lose their luster due to corrosion. Lead or stainless steel become dull due to corrosion. Aluminum also gets corroded, but there is a very hard and impervious layer of aluminum oxide on the surface of aluminum. So it just becomes dull. It doesn't stay shiny. So corrosion is a process of deterioration of a metal as a result of its reaction with air or water present in the environment surrounding it. Right? We are going to learn about rusting or corrosion and the methods of preventing it in chapter number 3, metals and non-metals. Here we just had an idea that it happens due to oxidation, because we just learned what is oxidation. So these are the effects, or you can say ill effects of oxidation. Rancidity. I told you that when oily foods or food containing fats and oils are left for some time uh, in normal conditions, or maybe in the presence of light, they get spoiled, gives foul smell, unpleasant taste. That they are said to be oxidized. That is rancid. This change in odor and flavor of oily and fatty foods by oxidation is called rancidity. You can prevent rancidity. It's not like that. You can prevent it. You can prevent it by adding antioxidants. So there are some chemicals which they put in food substances, packaged food substances, which are antioxidants. There are two chemicals which are commonly used as antioxidants: BHA, butylated hydroxyanisole, and BHT, butylated hydroxytoluene. So these two substances, they prevent oxidation from occurring. So the food substances stay fresh for a longer period of time. Another way of preventing rancidity is by storing the food substances in airtight containers. If you keep the foods in airtight containers, it also helps to slow down oxidation, and this increases the life of food materials. By vacuum packing, in many cases food items are packed under vacuum conditions so that no air or oxygen is available to bring about oxidation of food. You must have noticed that chips and other food materials manufacturer usually flush bags of chips with and other eatables with inert gas such as nitrogen. तो तुम्हारी चिप्स की पैकेट में चिप्स कम होती है, नाइट्रोजन ज्यादा होता है. ये जोक तुमने सुना ही होगा. एक्चुअली ये रियलिटी है, जोक नहीं है. बाय रेफ्रिजरेशन ऑफ फूड, अगर तुम फूड सब्सटेंसेस को रेफ्रिजरेट करते हो तो यू कैन प्रिवेंट रैंसिडिटी टू अ ग्रेटर एक्सटेंट. By storing food away from light, if you store food in dark areas, you can definitely prevent rancidity, because rancidity's rate increases with the with the presence of light, sunlight, or any natural light. So your refrigerator has light inside, but that gets on only when you open the refrigerator, so you can see what is there inside it. When you close the refrigerator, the light automatically shuts off. Okay, so it is a dark place. It is good for storing food to prevent rancidity. So that is the chapter. This is the chapter which we did. Whole chapter is completed, right? So I posted few videos and I hope you understood it. Now I'm going to send you the exercise which you have to do, and we are going to see you in the next video very soon. Till then, please revise the whole video. If you have any doubts, just let me know so I can. Oxidation and reduction was really tricky, but for me also to explain on video for the first time, it got a bit tricky. But I think if you have any doubts, you can ask me and I can clear those doubts, right? So see you later in the next video. Bye bye.